Feeling like you're not quite as productive as you could be? Well, let's sort that out. Hey guys, and welcome back to Tipharot, and in this episode I'm going to give you 5 quick tips on how you can be more productive. Tip number 1, write a long list of everything that you need to do. Get it all down on paper so that you can see the scope of what you're actually trying to do, and so that as you're progressing you can mark off the things that you've done and see how much closer to finishing you are. This will not only motivate you when you actually get those bits done, but it will also make you realise how much time you're going to need overall. So if you're limited on time, you'll know how much faster you need to work, and if, for example, you've got lots and lots of time to spare, then you'll know that you can take it slow and work harder on each of the parts. Tip number 2, start now. I've made whole videos about this and it's really important. You need to take action and start now. There's no point putting it off until you're going to do it perfectly, because that's never going to happen. The time that you spend waiting could have been spent working on it. And even if you then scrap what you've done and start over, the point is you've gained experience from that first attempt. So by starting on your project now, you're going to get there a lot quicker and you're going to do it a lot better. Now the other thing about this is when we procrastinate, we put it off and then at the last minute we have to rush through, and it's really hard, and that just puts extra pressure on us when we could start now and take our time with it and not feel so stressed out, meaning it's going to be a better quality product or a better quality, essay or whatever it is that you're doing at the end of it. The final thing about this is that when you start now, you can start with just something little that will be easy and stress-free for you right now, and by the time that you finish that, the rest of it's going to be a lot easier to do, because once you've started, you get into the momentum and you can keep on working. Tip number 3, focus on the 80%. In other words, focus on that percent that is going to get you most of the bonuses. If you're, say, working on sales, and you're perhaps marketing in different places, then if there's one place that always consistently gets you more sales or gets you more hits for your website or whatever, then focus on that. Dedicate your time mainly to that. And honestly, if the time there outweighs the time in other places overall, then just ditch the other places completely and focus on that, because you'll be able to invest way more time on marketing in somewhere where you're actually going to get the hits, where you're actually going to get the sales, and that way the rest of that time is free to just continue marketing in that one place, and you'll get more overall productivity out of that, more overall results. So focus on that 80%, not the 20% that's a few hits here and there and takes just as much work. You want to minimize the time that you're spending doing things that aren't quite productive. You want to focus all of that time and effort on the things that get you the most results. The other thing about this is, even if you do then go off and do some of these things that aren't quite as productive, then at least you've started with the ones that are. So later on it's going to be, a lot more that you've got done. And to add to that, those little things that you might have left out, say you run out of time. If you run out of time and you focus on the areas that get you the most results first, then you're going to have more results than if you started with the ones that get you least results. If you run out of time, it's always better to have done the main things first rather than the little things. Tip number 4, remove all distractions. Turn off your phone, turn off your computer if you don't need it. Close the blinds so there's not stuff outside distracting you. And don't leave music playing unless you find that it actually genuinely helps you work. If it's stuff with lots of lyrics and you're writing something, you don't want that. You want something that's just instrumental, for example, so it can go in the background without distracting you and making you, suddenly write down some of the lyrics in your essay or whatever. You want to eliminate all distractions, and by doing this you can focus solely on the project. And one of the other things I recommend as an addition to this tip is also eliminate all clocks from the room. If you really want to focus on something and completely lose yourself in it and not be distracted, then you don't want to be looking at the time, because we're all guilty of this. We'll be working on something and we check how much time it's taken us already, and we might have felt okay with how much work we've done, but when we see that we've sat there for 2 hours, then we suddenly feel really crappy about the fact that we've worked so long and only accomplished so much. So it's better not to see the time until after you've completed the whole project or after you've finished with work for the day. So get rid of the clocks. Unless you absolutely need to be somewhere at a certain time, then don't look at the clock. It will really help you. In fact, this is actually a little known fact, but shopping centres and supermarkets and stuff like that tend to avoid having clocks. And the reason they do that is because they want the shoppers to get completely lost there and lose track of time and just get engrossed in the shopping experience. So get engrossed in the experience of what you're trying to produce and don't look at the clock. Tip number 5. What someone else can do just as well as you without taking so much time or while you're working on something else is best outsourced. Now this doesn't have to mean that you're sending off your work to some call centre somewhere on the cheap or whatever, but basically if there's something that someone else can be doing for you while you're working on the main bit, the most important bit, the bit that actually needs your input, then do that. For example, if you're running a company and you have to sell a bunch of things, and you also have to design products, and you're better at the designing products and the sales, then you really do want someone else in there selling it. I know it's attractive, the idea of having a one-man team doing everything yourself, but the guy who saves $1,000 or whatever because he did the work himself might have found that in the same time that he spent doing that work, he could have earned $10,000 doing something else, doing the bit that he's the best at. So don't be afraid to outsource. And if this is something small, you're just doing an essay or something for school or whatever, then you can do this in simple ways. Like, for example, before you write your essay, ask your friends, where they found the best sources, what sites and stuff had valuable information on the subject that you're writing about. I don't mean to copy someone's work, but I mean to ask them what books, what sites, and that were the most helpful for them. So even as a student, you can actually outsource a little bit of your work. Instead of having to look around for ages to find the best sites, you can ask your friend who's already finished the essay and then look on those sites and do the research yourself. So these have been 5 quick tips on how you can be more productive, and I hope they've helped you guys. If you found that they've helped you, or you just want more similar content, then remember to subscribe up there, because you've got regular videos that come out every Wednesday, every Saturday, and occasionally some others. If you liked the video, leave a thumbs up, and if you have any comments or questions, or any productivity tips of your own, I'd love to hear some of your own tips, so share them down in the comments below. If you want to keep watching, then check out the video up there somewhere. Take care.